you're treating your health and your fitness like a finite game, you're not going to be around for as long as you should be. You look like a sack of shit. You're talking in front of loads of people and you're soft, chubby, overweight, like fucking turtleneck over the collar of your shirt. Like, the reality is, for you to get away from that, it's not going to happen in a day, it's not going to happen in a week, it's going to take a couple of months. And that's okay. If you trash this one vehicle you have for life, you're not getting another one. If you struggle with trying to lose weight for a long period of time, here's the thought process when it comes to fitness and weight loss you really need to think about. And it's something that's really changed my perspective on a lot of things in life. And it's looking at fitness like this. Stop looking at fitness like a finite game that ends. Fitness and your health is an infinite game. Your fitness and your health will only end, when you die. And this is the problem. And this is why you're going through a yo-yo cycle in probably terms of like gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, because you see it as a finite game in terms of that you've lost the weight and that the job is done. Now I can kick back. Now I can go to Cancun. Now I can drink some margaritas. Now I can go to Smith's in Las Vegas and eat loads of cookies and be a degenerate. As much as I want to do that, have some fucking self-control and learn that this is a game that doesn't stop. So if you're a father, mother, husband, business leader, whoever you are, people rely on you, and it's important for you to then be around for a very long period of time, right? And if you're treating your health and your fitness like a finite game, you're not going to be around for as long as you should be. Now, this is why it's important for you to understand and reframe this, that you being in great shape and physically strong and fit isn't really for you. It's for the people around you. So whether it be your children, because if you think about it, who do children learn the habits from? A family acquaintance I know, their kids are very overweight, and it's very sad and very depressing. It makes me incredibly angry. Like, the little boy's got fucking man tits and shit like that at like 13. Like, he's fucked from the start because of the way his parents raised him. And if you're a parent, that's your fault. Like, hard and simple. Because your children will emulate what your parents do, because they pick up those habits. Where else do they see them? They're not driving to Smith and buying the cookies themselves, right? So this is the first thing. From a business perspective, how can you be the CEO of your business, of a huge organization? Say it's a $100 million organization, yet you're not the CEO of your own body or mind. You look like a sack of shit. You're talking in front of loads of people and you're soft, chubby, overweight, like fucking turtleneck over the collar of your shirt. Like, I've been there. I used to be fat when I was younger and used to have to wear a shirt as an estate agent. Like, it's not a fun time. But guess what? If you're a guy and you get really good shape and you wear a suit and you walk around, people like fucking notice you more, because in particular in North America and the UK, I think 78% of Americans are obese. I saw the other day something shocking, that the average American eats 3,700 calories a day, which is insane. And that's why there's an obesity problem. And the problem with this is people are in this vicious cycle of thinking like a finite game instead of an infinite game. So how you set yourself up for success for this long term is basically what we teach in the 4 phases of our methodology with CJ coaching, and what we call the HOT method, which is hormone optimization training. Now, the key with this is getting your body to actually work for you and not you becoming reliant on sugar and other food fixes like dopamine hits and necessarily shitloads of caffeine or whatever it might be. Now, the reality is, for you to get away from that, it's not going to happen in a day, it's not going to happen in a week, it's going to take a couple of months. And that's okay. And the reason it's going to take a couple of months, and you're going to have to keep doing the work infinitely until you die, is because when you stop, you go back to who you are. Now, the most important thing when you're looking to lose weight and become the person you want to be is not the end result in terms of the way you look, the way you feel. It's the habits and who you become in the process of that, which then become everlasting. And that's the key thing we teach people. And this is why the message I want everyone listening to this podcast today is just reframe your thought process in terms of looking longer term and the infinite game of your health, your fitness, your joints. Like, I woke up this morning, I was like, my knees, my back hurt a little bit. It's like I'm 33 years old, and I was like, wonder what I'm going to feel like when I'm 63. I was like, let's try and make sure I look after myself so I can still do this stuff then. Which is why I'm on top of things like getting massages and trying to like look after my body, because if you trash this one vehicle you have for life, you're not getting another one. unless they bring out a cyborg suit in 30 years, which I'd probably try. And the reality with that is that people need to think about is that if you trash this one thing you have, you get one life, because this is your one shot. So make the most of what you're doing with your body. And if you're in a position that you feel stuck, you feel lost, and you feel lonely, you feel like you don't know what to do, the hardest thing to actually do is start. Ask for help. Work with someone. It's like when we have a consultation call with a client when they're going to come work with us, that's the fucking hardest part for them right there. Making the decision like, shit, I'm going to do this. I'm going to trust Charlie. I'm going to trust Charlie and his team. I'm going to go do their program. I'm going to let them change my life. Because what people have is they think it's the other way around. They think when they start the program, when you start the workout, when you start the diet, it's going to become difficult. That's when it becomes easy, because you know what you're doing and you're not doing it alone. So at the moment, you're suffering in silence, you're struggling. The hard decision is making the change and getting started. The easy part is the work to get the results, and also the fun part. So if you're in a position right now where you're struggling, you're stuck, or you're stuck in the finite game of fitness, message me Finite Game on Instagram or hit the link below this podcast. We would love to have a quick chat with you, see how we can help you change your life, your family's life, and everyone around you. And if this podcast hit home, please share it with a friend and leave us a 5-star review.